Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Serge. A few days ago, I mentioned or I covered the topic of dairy products, and I mentioned the different myth of why milk and milk products may not be a good idea for your health. Today, I wanted to talk specifically about a topic that we don't cover enough, we don't hear enough actually, when it comes to milk. Milk has been associated with different issues like inflammation, heart disease, cancer, obesity, diabetes, autism, and so on. One of the main cause or reason of it is because milk is typically the milk or milk products we use are being processed, like pasteurized. So at the end of the day, you actually consume a dead food. When you heat the milk, you pasteurize the milk, you actually destroy the nutritional value of the milk, and it can actually damage the protein of the milk and leading to these different issues. And I did cover the different types of milk, the A1 and A2, and explain why A2 is much better to consume as opposed to A1. And the problem we have in this country is it's really hard to find A2 milk. There's more and more options, but most of the products you get in the state, in the countries, in different stores, is a A1, a processed pasteurized milk, which is a dead food, which is toxic for your body. So today I wanted to talk about maybe a causative factor of breast cancer. Okay. I don't know if you guys read, if you can look on the right side, this book by Dr. Judy Mokovitz. She wrote two books. This is the second book, Plague of Corruption. Really fascinating book, really great book. She goes over how much corruption there is in the government, in the science, and how there's no more science today that are being done, but everything is controlled by those big pharma with money and so on and so on. You know all of this. But at some point in that book, she mentioned that she did some research on BLV, which stands for bovine leukemia virus. And she did mention that this virus is found in milk. Okay, it's really fascinating to look into that. And this is what I want to cover today is the virus that is found in milk and milk products can actually contribute and cause breast cancer. Really fascinating. We know that viruses today can lead or can cause cancer, actually. Pathogens are known to do that. So let's talk a few minutes about this when it comes to this point. So there's many papers, actually, when you look at PubMed, that explains the connection between breast cancer and BLV. And we can see in this first paper, which is the inactivation of bovine leukemia virus infected lymphocytes in milk. Okay, so this paper at the end of the day demonstrates that the BLV is found in milk and is found in pasteurized milk. As we can see here, pasteurization at 62 degrees for 30 minutes, okay, did not activate BLV. So meaning that this virus is found in pasteurized product. At the end of the day, a virus is a protein and DNA, RNA. So these are resistant to the heat. Viruses are not alive microorganisms. They are dead microorganisms. They require our human cells, or cells, animal cells, in order to replicate and infect and cause problem into the body. So a virus doesn't do anything if it doesn't have access to our cellular machinery, okay, to replicate and infect the cells, okay? That was my first one. Here is the BLV is actually found in pasteurized milk, okay? Next slide here is some papers, and we're going to go over to demonstrate there's a connection between LMV and breast cancer. Okay, the first one is bovine leukemia virus detected in the breast tissues and blood of Iranian women. Okay, so what they did over here is they took samples of breast cancer and they did some biopsy and they actually did some pathology on it, and they did see the virus in the breast cancer. Okay, which may actually suggest a connection between the two. meaning that if you see the virus in the cancer cells, it may be a causative factor. Next one is a similar concept here. They did see the BLV in the breast cancer of Australian woman, okay? And it has been identified before breast cancer development, okay? So this is a one step better when it comes to the previous paper, is they actually found this virus prior the development of breast cancer, which strongly suggests a causative factor, like I said. Okay, really interesting. And then these other papers that shows the same thing, meaning that the BLV is found in breast cancer of Brazilian women. Okay, so there's a bunch of papers like that we can go over, but now we're gonna move on to the next one. Is there's other studies that were done that looking at the direct connection between BLV contaminations of the breast and the development of breast cancer. Okay, in this paper, it's a meta-analysis. It's a review, so meaning that these authors look at a bunch of different papers on this topic and analyze the conclusion on all of them. And they concluded that there's a potential association between BLV infections and the risk of breast cancer. Okay, so they do strongly suggest that BLV, which is found in milk products, can actually cause breast cancer. Okay, the other paper is a similar concept. This is a case control, actually. So they look at one woman specifically who got breast cancer, and they did see a direct connection. That was in Texas. The presence of BLV strongly suggests in this woman that breast cancer was caused by the presence of BLV. Okay, this is another study again. Can bovine leukemia virus be related to the human breast cancer? A review of the evidence. And this again suggests, like the other paper, that there's a direct connection, causative connection between breast cancer and the BLV virus. Okay, so another paper here, another review. This is really interesting. They look at the potential mechanism, how this virus can cause breast cancer. Apparently, the BLV or viruses in general can actually affect cause oncogene to be reactivated. So oncogene or gene that we have in our cells that are typically suppressed in the body, but with different factors, those oncogenes can be reactivated, and oncogenes are known to drive the development of cancer. So it seems that this virus can actually affect oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes. Okay, so if you look at PubMed, this is what I did here. So there's a bunch of studies. If you look for a connection between BLV and breast cancer, you can look. There's dozens of different papers. You can look and see there's a direct connection. There's more and more science behind that. So this is another big reason for us, for you guys, not to drink milk or consume milk products, even though it may be pasteurized. That's a big concern. But there's not a lot of evidence showing that the pasteurization of the milk actually is a causative factor of breast cancer. But the presence of this virus in the milk, even though it's pasteurized, can lead to breast cancer. Okay. The question arises when you consume non-pasteurized type A2 milk. It seems that this milk is much safer when you look at the history of people consuming milk. If you look at the work of Weston Price, you can go to the Weston Price Foundation and you can look at the research and the science of non-pasteurized milk, raw milk. So raw milk comes with enzymes and probiotics, bacteria. So it has been shown that even though the raw milk might have parasites or different pathogens like viruses, the good bacteria or the probiotic of the milk will fight those pathogens off and kill them, destroy them. Okay, that's why it's much safer to drink raw milk as opposed to pasteurized milk, because pasteurized milk does not contain probiotics. It's there. They kill all the bacteria. So if for some reason there's a parasite that end up into the milk or virus, it can thrive and grow rather fast And there's a lot more people actually every year who get sick from pasteurized milk or pasteurized milk products as opposed non-pasteurized milk. So it's much safer. So I'm not concerned when it comes to raw milk and this connection with the virus, because historically, raw milk has been shown to be really safe and has been shown to be associated with health. Okay, if we look at these different populations who have been consuming milk for years and decades. Okay, I'm more concerned about the processed milk, where this virus actually is not killed, is not destroyed, and can thrive and can actually get into our body and infect our cells, in this case, breast tissues, leading to breast cancer. Okay, so this is my 2 cents I wanted to say about the connection of milk and breast cancer. At the end of the day, I'm not a fan of it. You don't have to consume milk and milk products to be healthy or to have strong bone. Okay, this is another topic for another one, but tonight I wanted to focus on this. Thank you for watching, and God bless you all.